Well, originally I was going to go into mechanical engineering, but then I realized that I really want to get into the neurological aspect of things, and I figured since we don't have a neurological program here, biomedical was the best pathway to do that before graduate school. I'd also talked with one of the professors, and he said that we had a lot of neurological research going on here. And so it was essentially a pathway to get into neuroengineering at first, and now I'm going into neuroscience. I heard about it during orientation, and it just sounded like a really good idea. 2 majors, 5 years, get to travel abroad. So I figured, why not? It ended up being the best decision I ever made here at URI. And I met a lot of international students there, and it was an amazing experience. I learned a lot about the Spanish culture. I had an English boyfriend actually while I was over there for a while, so I learned about the English culture also, and I'm planning on going to grad school in England now. I worked at a university as a grad student doing research on the heart, but the people that I worked with were absolutely amazing. They were really helpful with learning Spanish, and my professors were really nice, and I really learned that graduate school was the right path for me. I stayed with a host family for my first, I guess, 3 weeks, and I couldn't understand a word that they said. They were asking me really, really simple questions, but I was so nervous that I couldn't respond at all. Then I got much more comfortable as time went on. The lady that I stayed with, she liked to talk a lot, and so she would just ramble on, and I wouldn't be able to understand anything. But the thing that really made me realize how much I had learned was within my last few weeks there, I ended up going back to Santander to visit my friends, and I met her on one of the buses, and I was speaking with her, and we were going back and forth without any problem at all. Well, after working as a grad student in Spain, I decided that I really wanted to carry on research back at URI. I got in contact with Dr. Boudreau and asked her if that would be possible, and she said of course it would be. And then I asked her if there was any way I could get into any neurological research, since that was the field that I always planned on getting into. She told me about this new professor, Dr. Basayo. So I got in touch with him and found out that he was doing brain-computer interfacing. It's definitely interesting, and I've learned a lot. The thing that most sticks out is I play rugby. I've played since my freshman year. It's one of the most important things to me here. This year I'm the captain, and I absolutely love it. I adore all the girls, and it's so fun. It's a good way to get out lots of excess energy. And I've always been kind of accidentally violent playing sports. I'd always knock people down, and so I heard about rugby, and it just sounded like the perfect sport for me. And a lot of my guy friends played, and then they ended up introducing me to some of the rugby girls, and then I got hooked right away. I just loved it. I really want to get into researching bipolar and trying to find different ways to diagnose it. Bipolar, it's very close to home because it's run in my family, and it's something that I feel people are either misdiagnosed, or a lot of times people will, the way that they prescribe people to drugs now, it's very hit or miss, trial and error, and I believe that it's really discouraging to a lot of patients, and a lot of patients that they're not put on the correct drugs or the correct dosage, and I want to find ways to figure out the drugs and the dosage through imaging, so that it's, rather than taking a roundabout approach, it'd be more of a direct approach to prescribing drugs.